This is Rostra, the St. Theodore Guerin Junior Classical League podcast, where we bring the lessons of classical study into the light for the benefit of all.
Welcome back to another episode of Rostra. And once again, this is kind of exciting. We've got a repeat guest with us. We have Stella Kolb. Stella, I want to talk, first of all, why did you want to come back on Rostra?
Because it was so great the first time, Mr. Perkins.
Well, there you go. It was so great the first time. You know, given the number of people that are listening to the show and so forth, I think folks out in the world would agree with you. They seem to enjoy what you guys are doing. So you've got an exciting topic for us today. I truly mean it when I say it is a rock and roll topic, and I'll explain that reference here in a little bit. But what is your topic, and why did you pick it?
My topic is Roman chariot racing, and I picked it just because of the scene in Ben-Hur.
Because of the scene in Ben-Hur. Okay, so for those who don't know, Ben-Hur is a classic movie, and didn't you recently have some connection, something about Ben-Hur you were telling me about recently?
Yeah, I was walking through Goodwill, and I found the book version of it.
You found the book version of it by General Lew Wallace, Civil War general, connected here in Indiana. So I've got to ask, we'll go ahead and put you on the record here, have you started to read the book yet?
I have not, no.
You know what? School gets in the way, doesn't it? I mean, all that homework, especially all that Latin homework, just gets in the way of your free time reading. So yes, the chariot race, central to that story. And if anybody's ever seen, especially the classic 1950s movie where Charlton Heston, we know that. And of course, here we go, recording during the school day. You get the bell in the background. So, chariot racing, what's it all about?
Well, it was done for competition. A lot of times they would have it between slaves, is what I found out. Sometimes not, but they always started as teen boys or even a little younger, is what I would find. So,
this is where my mind goes, okay? And I don't know if you're a Star Wars person, but I immediately go to Anakin Skywalker and the pod racing in Star Wars Episode 1, where he is a little kid, but he's out there racing these pod racers, which is very much this futuristic type of chariot race, basically. So, is it just what we would think? Just some good old boys in a chariot running around a track? I mean, what are we talking about in terms of the actual race itself?
No, they basically had no rules out there, and they would all be dead within 10 years is also something that I found, or a lot sooner. There would be, at the Circus Maximus, could hold up to 150,000 people, so this was a big showing for the Roman people.
Big showing. Now, I'm sorry, you said dead?
Yes.
So you're telling me that these people did not have all the padding and the helmets and all the safety gear that we would have for, say, an IndyCar race or a NASCAR race?
None of it.
Of course not. The answer, you're exactly right? It was just no holds barred, get out there in chariot and see who goes the fastest, and if something happens, something happens. It's what it is. Now, you say 150,000 people in the Circus Maximus, which literally means the biggest circus, which is the racetrack. Obviously popular. Did you find out anything about gambling related to the...
I didn't see that.
Here's the deal. The Romans were huge gamblers. They would have totally understood Las Vegas. They would have completely gotten the idea of betting on horse races, betting on the chariot races, so that was a big thing. Okay, so I know that when it comes to like IndyCar racing, NASCAR racing, a lot of people really get stoked by the number of the racer or the colors of the race in there and so forth. So how did people identify kind of like teams of racing? Did you find anything about that?
Yeah, I saw that a lot of times they would have them dressed up as the seasons.
Okay.
And there would also be a big parade before the race.
Again, if you're going to have a stadium that holds 150,000 people, obviously this is big entertainment. You referenced the parade, which in Latin is called the pompa. So yes, you'd have a parade in front of this. Again, I think about the Indianapolis 500. Of course, we live close to Indianapolis, and so that's a big deal. every spring, and there's lots of activities around the Indy 500. So not just the race itself, but the stuff around it, and so therefore you got the parade as well. So talk to us a little bit more. What else did you find?
Well, I found out about exactly what they would use. There would usually be about 4 horses that they would use, and only the middle 2 would be hooked up to actually steer, and then the outside 2 would just have to follow. Okay.
So a little bit more than just driving your 1 mule cart to the forum to pick up some fruit, right? This is 4 horses going full out. This is pretty fast stuff, and you got to know how to control these guys. These guys definitely had to have practice and training at this. So yeah, what else did you find?
I found that they would try to make their cart as small as they possibly could. That way that they could go up to 55 miles an hour.
Now, you and I are going 55 miles an hour, please. I blow through 55 miles an hour all the time, right? We got highways that go up to 70 miles an hour and so forth. We're used to seeing, 100, 200 miles an hour in our race cars. But if you ever, I don't know, did you ever ride roller coasters? Are you a roller coaster person?
Not so much.
Okay. Roller coasters, a lot of times, don't get to around maybe 50 miles an hour. And that just feels so fast when you're in an open air vehicle. And then, of course, if you are actually controlling the horses, and you got those other vehicles beside you, and you're running around a dirt track, that 55 miles an hour is going to feel blindingly fast. So, yeah, terribly, terribly fast there. In fact, I mentioned that it's a rock and roll topic. So there used to be a band called the Beach Boys. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Beach Boys, but a pretty famous, famous rock and roll band there, right? And they've got a song called Fun, Fun, Fun. And it's about a girl who gets a car while she's still in high school. And there's a line in there saying that she will drive so fast, she makes the Indy 500 look like a Roman chariot race. So if she's driving so fast that the Indy 500 seems like a Roman chariot, that girl's going really, really fast. What I like about it is the fact that even in the modern world, you're still getting a reference like that to the Roman chariot races. Okay, so let me ask you this. You've got free time, obviously not enough, or you'd be reading more of your novel. You wouldn't be doing that. But we all like to go out for entertainment. Maybe we go to the play, we go to the movies, or whatever. From what you've read, do you think that going to the chariot race in ancient Rome would be something that you would be interested in doing? Would that have been a good entertainment from your perspective?
From my perspective?
Yeah.
Well, I think that it would have been a very violent showing.
Yeah.
But other than that, it might have been okay, I suppose.
If we could just take out the violence and the death part of it, then yeah, it'd be maybe a good time there. So tell me, anything else that you found that you think that people listening to this podcast really need to know about Roman chariot racing?
Well, I didn't know that actually the Egyptians would have had a form of chariot racing too. So this is not just something that the Romans did.
We associate it with the Romans, but not just the Romans. That's exactly right. And you got to think, the first time a human being stuck 2 wheels onto something and that person's friend saw how fast that went, that friend had to think, I bet I could go faster. I mean, it's just human nature, right? So it totally seems natural to me that we as human beings would have come up with that. So, yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, actually, that slave girls would have been given as prizes.
Okay, and one of the things we talk about the ancient world, I think there's a lot of neat stuff. I think there's actually a lot of great stuff, great ideas and literature and poetry and architecture and scientific discovery and so forth. We can't get around the fact that human slavery was a part of the ancient world, really in all cultures. And the idea that you would give a human being as a prize, I mean, we give trophies and money. Here's a check for $1 million. Congratulations. But you're actually giving human beings as slaves. At that time, people just didn't even consider it as a moral evil, which, of course, we know it is. But at that time it was, and that was unfortunately part of it. Yeah.
Yes, well, thank you, Mr. Perkins.
Well, thank you, Stella. It's so good to have you back on the show. We'll be interested to see if you turn back up as maybe a third guest sometime.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Rostra. You may check out all our episodes on Spotify and follow us on social media at GuerinJCL. That's at GuerinJCL.